I have to admit, I've been delaying this video about the FOSI Audio V3 mono amplifiers because honestly, I didn't want to pull them out of my rack and disturb my setup. But that reluctance speaks to just how much I love these amps. And today, I'm finally going to tell you why. I was first in line to purchase the FOSI Audio V3 mono amplifiers when they were first announced on Kickstarter. They were billed as the game changer in the small form factor Class D world, thanks to their mono design and post-filter feedback technology. With the resounding success of the V3 stereo version, I knew I had to have one, or two actually. And let me tell you, I was not disappointed in the slightest. I used these amps to replace my Pioneer surround sound AVR in a 2.1 channel setup. Now, paired with my vintage NAD 1700 tuner preamp and my topping DX3 Pro Plus for the digital inputs, that combination blows away the Pioneer in every way. I've been using my vintage audio control phase coupled activator to handle the bass management. Well, handle is putting it lightly. The PCA actually restores bass that was lost during the recording process, giving my system foundation-cracking, chest-thumping performance. If you want to learn more about the PCA's patented bass technology, drop a comment below and I'll dive into that in a future video. Now let's talk design. I love this chamfered dog bone design on the front face. FOSI Audio did an amazing job carrying that design forward into the upcoming ZD3 DAC. And FOSI, if you're listening, please commit to this design for all future releases. I love it. One thing that bugs me about a lot of these innovative Class D manufacturers, FOSI included, is how many brands seem to change their design language from product to product. Legacy brands have been doing it right for decades. At a glance, you can instantly tell what brand a Macintosh or a Hagel is, for instance, just by looking at them. I feel like FOSI has found their design identity with this dog bone look, and I hope they stick with it. I'm also endlessly excited that FOSI Audio is sending me their ZA3 amplifier for review, which also has this dog bone design too. It'll be a perfect match for my ZD3 DAC, which I picked up on Kickstarter. If you want to see those videos when they drop, make sure you subscribe now and hit the bell icon to get notified. Now, these amps run hot.
That's hot.
I mean, really hot.
Like your mum.
And I want to cool them down to extend their lifespan. So I came up with a smart plan to do just that. If you want to see how I did it, click here to watch that video now. But seriously, why do they run so hot? One of the key advantages of Class D is their efficiency in typical cooler operation compared to Class AB amps. I have a couple of reasonable explanations though. First off, the internally mounted heatsink, which is mounted to the bottom, is smaller than it should be. It should be more robust and substantial. I gotta give credit to IEMA for addressing this with the A70 mono. They include a beefy heatsink in that. Moving forward, all brands should commit to hefty heat sinks on the TPA 3255 chip, or use traditional fin style designs like Class AB amplifiers have used for decades. Another reason could be the upgraded 48 volt 10 amp power supply that FOSI offers. It's delivering oceans of current, which is surely a contributing factor to the heat here. But I highly recommend this power supply and the splitter cable it comes with that allows one supply to power 2 amps, which the smaller power supplies simply don't offer. And lastly, I've stuffed these amps into a tight rack space that restricts airflow and definitely doesn't help. So all things considered, I came up with a smart fan, cooling option to keep these amps running cool. Let's take a quick walk around this beauty. On the front panel, you've got 2 key switches, one for input and one for power. But it's the power switch that's really brilliant. The V3 mono features an auto on-off function, meaning it senses input signal and powers on automatically, which is incredibly smart and convenient. I can't tell you how satisfying it is to hear this little click every time it powers on. It just gives me the reassurance that everything's working perfectly. However, I'd love for FOSI to extend the auto off timer from 10 minutes to something like 30 minutes. I often find myself going to the bathroom or grabbing a snack during a movie, and every time I come back, the amps have turned off. 10 minutes just doesn't feel long enough. Now check out these side vents. They not only give the amp a sleek, modern look, but they're functional too. These vents help with heat dissipation, helping the amp run cool. Well, cooler than they would without them. It's a smart design choice that adds both aesthetics and performance to the amp. As for inputs, even though it looks like there are just 2 inputs, there are actually 3 options. First, there's the RCA input, which comes with an input sensitivity switch that allows you to select between 25 dB and 31 dB of gain, depending on your needs. Now you've got the XLR input, which offers lower noise floor and better rejection of radio frequency interference. But the often ignored third input is the TRS input, located at the center of the XLR connection. This gives you an additional layer of flexibility when connecting your gear, making the V3 Mono compatible with a wide range of setups. One area where I think FOSI could have stepped up is with the speaker connections. For an amp of this caliber, I was expecting beefier banana plugs. The ones used here feel just a bit lightweight for a powerhouse like this. It's a minor gripe, but it's something to consider if you're used to more robust speaker connection. One important tip: when using the input sensitivity switch on the back, I recommend leaving it on the low setting. This will cut down on potential line noise that can be introduced with too much gain. Only switch to max gain if you absolutely need more volume than the lower setting can give you. Let's talk about sound quality. The V3 Monos deliver incredible speed and bass. Tight, punchy, and solid. Reviewers rave about their clean, transparent sound, with some comparing the bass control to amps twice their price. You get precise imaging and a broad sound stage, which makes these perfect for everything from high-energy tracks to dedicated acoustic sessions. This amp might just be my favorite Class D amplifier featuring the TPA 3255 chip. In terms of competition, the closest match would be the IEMA A70 Mono. Both share the same chip, mono design, XLR inputs, and imported audiophile grade capacitors, and PFF feedback. I love the simplicity of the V3 Mono, but I also got to give credit to IEMA for the versatility and ease of adjustments that comes with. And of course, they're hefty heat sinks, like I mentioned earlier. If you want to check out my review on the IEMA A70 Mono, click here to watch that video. It's going to take something really special to replace these V3 Mono amps as my daily driver in my rec room, where I watch TV every day. They're just delicious. But the amp wars are heating up, and this category of amplifier is so exciting, with new and innovative products arriving all the time. So stay tuned for what comes next. The FOSI Audio V3 Mono. It's compact, powerful, and designed for audiophiles. Experience the power, the precision, and the performance of the V3 Mono. Your ears deserve nothing less. If you want to see the video on the IEMA A70 Mono that I mentioned earlier, that's it right here. And if you want to check out how I cool down these V3 amps the smart way, you'll find that video right here.